Today we're going to be drawing a pet goldfish, and so you need your watercolor paper, you need a pencil, you need some oil pastels, you need your watercolors, rinse water. I have a Sharpie here in case I want to use it for an eyeball. Colors for the oil pastels. I'm going to do a goldfish, I already decided, but you might want to do a rainbow fish, or you could do a polka dotted fish or something like that. So get all your supplies together and then we'll be ready to paint. Okay, I have my piece of paper right here. I'm going to start by drawing two curved lines. They're not super curved, but these are going to be the outside of my bowl. Once I get both of those lines, I'm going to close the bottom part of the line like that. And so now I have my body of my bowl. I'm going to go back over it and push down a little harder. It's always a good idea to draw super duper lightly until you get it right. There's a rhyme you can say, and it's draw light until you get it right. All right, there is the basic part of my bowl. I need to put the top on. Now, a fish bowl is round, so I want to draw a curved line, and then I'm going to draw a curved line back across this way. That way I have the opening of the bowl. Now I am looking through my phone to draw this, so mine's a little crooked, but I'm not super worried about it. I can also put what's called a lip on the bowl. If I want my bowl to have something fancy, I could make it come out a little bit more, but you can play with that if you want to. All right, once I have my bowl is kind of floating in the air, so I'm gonna come right here and I'm gonna draw what's called a horizon line. I start here. Because our bowl has water in it, you can very lightly put a line through the bowl, jump off, and then this line is darker. Okay, so we would go like that. This line right here is this is the wall, this is a table. And so it's not right down under here because perspective-wise, that wouldn't be correct. We just want to have it back behind our bowl because our fishy wouldn't be floating in the air. Once we have that, I'm going to go ahead and draw my fishy. And so I like to start with an oval like so. A lot of drawing is just basic shapes. So once I get my oval, I'm going to put a triangle on the end for a tail. For my triangle, I put the pointed part touching my oval. Fish have fins on top as well. They are kind of triangular shaped. They're a different kind of triangle. So I have my whole little fish drawn. I like to do lips that are kind of silly. So I'm gonna do those great big lips. They don't have to be realistic looking. And then I'm gonna put an eyeball on there. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put these are called gills. That's how they take in water and get the oxygen out so they can breathe. All right, go ahead and get your fish drawn. Once you have your fish drawn, you're gonna take the Sharpie and you are going to you're gonna color in the eye. So I'm just gonna take, I can do this real fast, and I'm just gonna color in my eye. After I'm done with my eye, I am going to put my pen away, and I'm gonna grab my orange. I'm gonna use that orange to color my fish in. Now, remember what I said, your fish does not have to be a goldfish. That's just what I thought I would do. And so if you want a rainbow fish, make a rainbow fish. If you want a blue fish or a green fish or a striped fish, go ahead and do that. I'm gonna make my lips orange too. When I use the oil pastel, I wanna push down hard. It's kind of like coloring, but these have oil in them and the oil will smear. So if I get the oil pastel on my hand and I start smearing, I wanna go to the bathroom and the kitchen sink and I wanna use soap and water and I wanna wash my fingers, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead just color this. I'm gonna go around the eye. See how my eye, that Sharpie, you can also use an oil pastel for that. I just chose not to. All right, once I'm hurrying along. All of this colored, we're gonna stop for a minute and let you color. I just wanted to show you though, this gill, I wanna come back with my black Sharpie, like so. Now let's say I had wanted a clownfish. I have the white. I would have done my black and white and orange stripes. So there's different ways you can do it. Now I like to outline some of my stuff. I'm gonna outline it in the oil pastel. Okay, so I'm gonna go like this and this. And now my whole fish is outlined. I'm gonna shut off the camera for a minute while you have a chance to draw and color your fish. While I am waiting for you to catch up, so you can go ahead and do this too, I'm gonna outline my whole bowl with the black oil pastel. Okay, we'll be back in just a minute when your fish is colored. All right, I have my fish ready to go. He has the oil pastel on him. I outlined my fish bowl. I drew the line across my horizon. Now, before I start painting, I'm gonna take the blue oil pastel and I'm gonna lay this down for a minute. I'm gonna make bubbles. I think it would be cute for my fishy to have some bubbles. So I'm gonna make some bubbles going to the top. Now something else you can do if you want to do it, you could, sometimes at the bottom of these dishes, they have like little rocks or pebbles. And so I might do like a whole little thing like that. That's not the water. That might be like where I just come in and I'm just kind of putting some little dots there and I can fill that whole entire thing in with my oil pastel. Again, be careful because you don't want to drag your hand through the oil pastel. Once I have everything done inside the fishbowl, I'm gonna get a brush. I've got my watercolors right here. I take the watercolor full of water, the brush full of water, put it in the watercolor. I'm gonna kind of wipe that off. I'm gonna get more water. You want a whole bunch of water. Now, the oil pastels are going to not stick to the paint. So watch this. When I paint, I can touch right over my bubbles, right over my fish, right over my little pebbles that are down here, and the paint's not gonna stick because water and oil don't mix. And so as I paint this, the water is gonna push itself off of the oil pastel. So the next step for you would be to get your water and get your brush and get your watercolors. Get that blue really, really wet and then go ahead and paint that in. Now, if you want to add anything else inside the fishbowl with the oil pastels, you'll need to do that before you start painting. You don't really want to do the oil pastels after you start painting, okay? So go ahead and fill that in and we'll be back to do the background. The rest of mine, I went ahead and made mine have a tablecloth on the bottom, so my tablecloth is like plaid. This is a window, and so I drew it, so this will be the wall, this is gonna be a curtain, and this is gonna be a window. And so for the rest of it, all I'm gonna do is paint. Same story. When you wanna use a color, so let's say I want orange. Rinse my brush a little better. I'm gonna get that orange really, 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 really wet. And then I'm just gonna paint right on top of the oil pastels. And so I can just go right over the top. Get creative, use your imagination, and make yourself a cute little pet fish to go in your little bowl. Have fun, send me a picture if you want.